Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? It's your boy Mojados, and I'm back with another video. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope you're well. Hope everybody's staying safe during these interesting times. Today I just want to jump right into this TA for Bitcoin. Long overdue, right? And essentially, I want to go over what I think is about to happen next and how pretty much everything has been playing out beautifully, right? And just to give some context to this video, you guys already know that on my Twitter page, I've been talking about this setup playing out because initially I thought it was a triangle, but then it broke the rules of being a triangle. Then I thought it was a zigzag, but it broke the rules of a zigzag. And the only option left was really a flat before going into any other complex corrections. And that's exactly how it played out, guys. September 11th, I pretty much posted this, and it's very clear, guys. I mean, it's very clear that this is going to be a flat. And then I kind of every single month I updated it. November we hit the top of that B leg. People were super bullish, of course, but we can't. We have to always look at both sides here. And the sides at that time were just super bearish. And I was looking at this. I'm like, this is going to be bad. And obviously from the first photo, my target initially was this low here. But of course, we saw the breakdown take place, and then we saw a bigger correction start taking place. Again, this is like the following month, which was posted. And it looked like, before it hit the 32.8 mark, it was going to be a running flat. Now there were people even targeting underneath here, right? But because of the structure, because there's a lack of retracement during this move down, it just led me to believe it's going to be a running flat, because when it does retrace, it's most likely going to have a bigger retracement to the upside. And of course, the targets of a C leg is that of which is an A in distance, of course. That's why I marked that 32. And then, of course, the following month, I did not skip anything. Yeah, I did not skip anything. We hit that 32 beautifully, and we had a nice bounce, confirming that this leg was pretty much done. And the part that I really liked about this move upwards here is that it terminated the high over here, which is essentially a really good thing. We want to see strength, and we did get that. Now, pretty much, again, people were targeting under this 3, and I didn't really believe that we're going under it because there's too much momentum that was building up here, and I'm going to touch more about that later in this video. But again, I just didn't believe that 5 was going to go under 3 that much, even if it did, and let alone go below 29K. It just wasn't looking like that's going to happen. And guys, this is like people talking about the war, talking about the Fed. This stuff has been clear since before all that shit was taking place, right? Even with all the FUD that you can imagine in the world, right? I give you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 months of precision, right, guys? And I'm just using Elliot waves. It could be very simple. It could be very complicated, but no matter what's going on, no matter what the FUD is, we have to follow price action. We have to follow what's being presented in front of us, and just try to make the best of it, right? At the end of the day, as traders, we just have to maximize our profits and just go with whatever the market is essentially presenting. And I wanted to give this context before I go into here, because I do believe that this 5th wave is in here. I think this is the low here, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this 5 waves down is a little bit choppy, but it does meet the time requirement. It does it can be considered to be the end of the 5th wave, but I'm not going to be super confident in this 5 here, because I do believe that there could be some type of chop, or we could still be in 4, right? There's quite a few possibilities, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging and still give you guys a monthly update, because I am overall still bullish on what's about to take place. So for full transparency, I think right now, if I was to give you guys a count at this moment, this would be it. And we have to see how this plays out. And this overall, this structure, this crab that we're getting, it's like pretty much like a range. And the reason why we're ranging for so long is because, guys, if you look at this move down, right, there's barely any retracements. It's just directional, lack of retracement, directional. And then this is pretty much making up for the retracement that didn't take place here. And that's kind of how it pretty much plays out in the end, because, there's like, a imbalance that was here throughout this whole move. This is kind of rebalancing the market by, slowing down that volatility, essentially. And so when I look at this, right, even looking at it from an RSI perspective, right, I mean, we're starting to gain momentum right here. And what I want to see is essentially, price break out of this triangle, but more importantly, break past the high over here of 45,386, and slowly start going upwards. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm starting to believe that we're probably going to get a dead cat, and I don't believe that we're probably going to break all-time highs. I'm starting to believe that it's less likely because of what we're seeing on on-chain here, guys. So right over here on my Twitter again, I talked to you about on-chain activity. And anytime that we saw on-chain spike from the 1,000 wallet size addresses, that's pretty much indicated that we got a dead cat bounce following it. And basically what that means and why it's important is like the 1,000 addresses for Bitcoin, they pretty much have the most amount of addresses. So technically they control the market, right? As far as price momentum, right? So because there's so many 1,000 Bitcoin wallet addresses, we have to essentially follow those wallets because they are the most amount of holders. And every time we saw a spike, like we see a spike here, there's a dead cat that takes place, and then a consolidation, of course, right? That's 2012 bull run. Then another one in 2014. Price falls over here, but then you see a spike in 1,000 Bitcoin addresses, and we see that spike. And over here, price falls, a spike takes place, which leads up to a small dead cat, not a huge one, of course, but still something notable. And over here, again, we're at whatever the price is, right, about 42K. We see a huge spike. Not a small one, but a huge spike, which, kind of leads me to the idea that we're probably going to get a dead cat bounce here, right? And that would also support the theory that the 5 is done on the way down here. And, we can target essentially this 55K region. That's kind of what I'm looking at for the top of the cycle. And that looks pretty good. Let's see, like right there, right? I'm just going to draw a line there. We could definitely target that 32K mark because it would fill a lot of these gaps. There's quite a few gaps that need to be filled. But that makes perfect sense, guys. And, I like to look at all different things, right? Especially on-chain, because that's real-time data, really, almost in a way. And it's really important that we pay attention to those little things. Also, EMAs here are starting to flip bullish. So if you look over here, we did break past these EMAs over here in the end of February, right? But we never kind of held it, right? We just broke right back through it. Same again here. We broke past these EMAs that I have. It's the 8, 13, and 21, 55, and the 200. We don't ever support the EMAs, which is, not a horrible thing, but something that I'm just looking at, and it, I can use it as confluence to help support the case that we're starting to trend up. Pretty much here, after this whole downtrend, we did see it here one time, right? But this is more so of a bounce to, finish off that third wave. After consolidation period, we're starting to see that, the EMAs are holding here. And we're also seeing the 55 go under all these EMAs, which is also something that should be, taken with some weight, right? It's not something that we should just completely ignore, right? This is pretty significant. And, we see it break past these EMAs here, come back, retest, try to break above it again, retest it again, making a higher low, and then going up one more time here. And all the while, we're starting to see these EMAs like get closer, right? Anytime these EMAs get close, like you can see over here, the 200 and the 55, they have a big gap, right? Which is bullish or bearish, depending on which way the market is moving. But whenever we see a gap that's bullish or bearish, again, And whenever you start seeing them come close again, like the EMAs start getting close to each other, it usually means that the EMAs are going to flip in a direction, right? And what it looks like here is that these EMAs, this 200 is probably going to come back lower as BTC gains more momentum. But first, we have to look at these smaller EMAs where the 55 is going to flip these smaller EMAs and start trending upwards, right? So we'll definitely have to monitor that. And so overall, I mean, we have seen that these on-chain wallets are spiking upwards, which always leads to a dead cat bounce, right? We're also seeing that RSI is gaining momentum here, right? This is very good. But price is still forming a crab, so I can understand why, people are still hesitant. But I believe that, again, these 5 waves are in, right? I believe that these 5 waves are in, and we're probably going to start seeing a grind upwards. Now, the biggest thing for me here, guys, is to become a bull, like a super bull again, that we're going to break past 69K, is 5 waves out, guys. 5 fucking waves out. I need to see momentum, power in these moves if you want me to believe that we're going to all-time highs. If we start seeing a chop, guys, I'm so sorry, but I think right now I can comfortably say that we're probably going to get a dead cat. I don't want to see a chop. This right here, this chop, I don't want to see this on the way up when we're breaking outwards, right? When we're bullish, guys, this is the type of reaction I want to see. Boom, break out, right? And again, it's so predicated on this breakout and how it breaks, whether it's with momentum, whether it's not with momentum, whether it's choppy or whether it's impulsive. I want to see impulsive action if we're going to believe we're in a bull market and we're continuing to believe that we're going to the upside. And I want to close this video off with one last thing. It's going to be the Bitcoin dominance chart. And over here, it just, again, it supports my theory that we're pretty much headed towards, an alt season as well here. So I know there's a Bitcoin video, and I don't want to get too much talking about alts, but it's important because this is pretty much breaking downwards or inverted breaking upwards, which basically tells us that Bitcoin is losing dominance. And that also tells us that, we're pretty much headed into an alt season, and we have to, take the information with, as it is. This is what's happening. We're starting to see a breakout to the upside. Again, this is inverted. So this tells us that Bitcoin is losing its dominance, and, that money is either going to flow into alts or we start bleeding. But again, right now with everything I've presented to you, I am starting to believe more and more that this is a dead cat unless we get impulsive price action to the upside with strength, volume, and everything else that I've explained before. But right now, these markets usually end off with an alt season. These markets usually have blow off tops while Bitcoin is retracing to, finish its final move. So I don't know about you guys, but everything is starting to make more sense as the data is being presented in front of us. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is purely for entertainment purposes. And I'm going to close this off. I'll probably upload this and put this on my Twitters. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, or your portfolio will go to zero. It will. It's proven in fact. And as always, hodl, hodl, hodl. Peace.